Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring the Dragonbane core set. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review featuring this tabletop RPG of Mirth and Mayhem, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about rounds and initiative, actions and movement. Combat is played in rounds, each representing roughly 10 seconds. At the start of each round, the first step is to decide who has the initiative, that is, in what order the combatants will act during the round. You draw cards for each of the participants. The lowest number is actually the best number. So, number 1 acts first, followed by number 2 and so forth. You can actually wait as an action. You can swap your card with the card of an enemy. When it comes to surprise, if you perform an attack that the Game Master deems surprising, you get to choose any initiative card you want in the first round of combat. So keep in mind those ambush opportunities. To make things simple, particularly in large battles, the Game Master can draw a single initiative card for a group of non-player characters. All non-player characters in that group act on the same turn in the round. The order among them is decided by the Game Master. Concerning actions and movement, on your turn in the round, you can move and perform one action. You decide whether to move before you act or vice versa. You can even use part of your movement, perform your action and then finish the movement. That's a lot of versatility. When it comes to actions, an action in combat can be many different things. But you have a list summarizing the most common ones, such as melee attack, dashing, ranged attack, parry, dodge. It's important to note that parry and dodge only happen as a reaction. You would effectively be sacrificing your attacks or other action in favor of parrying or dodging. There are also free actions. Minor actions such as drawing a weapon, dropping to the ground, or shouting a few words are all free actions. When it comes to more specialized actions such as first aid, that is, using the healing skill to save the life of someone who has their hit points reduced to 0 and is at risk of dying, or rally, persuading another player character at 0 hit points to rally and keep on fighting, these all count as normal actions, the same as casting a spell, activating an ability, and so forth. Let's talk about movement. It's important to note that when performing a reaction, you also lose your movement in the round. Some reactions such as dodging or parrying give you a certain movement as part of the action. Concerning the movement itself, under normal circumstances you can move as many meters as your movement rate. But there are a few special cases to consider, such as dashing. By choosing to dash as your action in the round, you can move twice as far as normal. There is also leaping. As part of your movement, you can make a horizontal leap as long as half your movement rate with a successful acrobatics roll. If the distance is a quarter of your movement rate or less, you don't need to roll to leap it. There are other nuances such as passing through doors, which would cost half of your movement if the door is closed. And when it comes to enemies, you cannot move past a standing enemy who wants to stop you. A humanoid creature of human size can block an area of roughly 2 by 2 meters. Monsters can block larger areas. To move past an enemy who is blocking the way, you must first bring it to the ground or reduce its hit points to 0. Friendly individuals can be passed without any problem. If you are standing within 2 meters of an enemy and then move away from that enemy, you must make an evade roll. The roll does not count as an action, but if it fails, the enemy immediately gets to perform an additional melee attack against you, a free attack. The free attack does not count as an action and can neither be parried nor dodged. Note that a free attack is triggered even if you start your movement at a distance, but pass by an enemy. Moving around an enemy does not trigger a free attack, as long as you stay within 2 meters. When it comes to sneaking around and carrying out sneaking attacks, of course you need to make a sneaking roll. If you move too close to an enemy with the intent of perhaps backstabbing the enemy, you make this roll with a bane. But if you succeed, your attack counts as surprising, which means that you can choose any initiative card you want. You also get a boon on the attack, and the target can neither dodge nor parry. Using a subtle weapon increases the damage by 1 die. Sneak attacks are always performed individually by one attacker against another attacker. You can also ambush your enemies. Let's talk about terrain. The terrain where the fighting takes place can affect your movement and actions. Maps usually show what type of terrain is found in different areas. In the case of Cramped Terrain, there is little space or a low ceiling. All melee weapons except piercing weapons and subtle weapons get a bane on all rolls. Concerning rough terrain, the terrain is difficult to traverse. Whenever you move, you must make an acrobatics roll. This is not an action. Failure means that you fall over and lose the rest of your movement this round. When it comes to dimly lit terrain, it imposes a bane on all ranged attacks. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to talk about melee combat. When it comes to adjudicating any action during the turns as the rounds proceed, everything is quite logical, very easy to understand. Initiative is going to be very fast to resolve. It's just drawing a card, and then you draw cards again. You're not rolling and taking great consideration in noting down the granularity of perhaps a result of 24, 18, 11. Here you only have results between 1 to 10. It's as simple as that. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.